So you guys voted on the next game you wanted to see me platinum. So behold, Stellar Blade. You knew what you were doing when you voted for this.
Naughty, naughty.
So Stellar Blade has a 45 trophies, a difficulty of 4 out of 10. It'll take you 2 playthroughs as we need to do a new game plus run for a super secret ending.
Secrets?
And should take us around 50 hours. If you want to have your say on the next game, make sure you check out the community tab because we will post updates there and also votes on the next game, so go check it out. One final thing, if you're excited for this platinum, make sure you hit the like button, guys, and for more platinum content, and make sure you subscribe as well.
Here we go.
So in Stellar Blade, Earth has been taken over by these things called nativas, and more on that to come as we progress into the game, and humans have had to leave and instead are now living in colonies in space in order to thrive and survive, although thriving is a bit far. At this point in the game, we are introduced to Tacky, and then lo and behold, we are also introduced to Eve, who is the main character of this game and the one that the story is going to focus on. So Tacky and Eve kill many natives on the battlefield, and we defeat this massive boss. And I mean, look at him. He looks like he ate one too many McDonald's, if you ask me. Now, one of the best parts about this game is these set pieces. So when you kill a boss, you basically have a stamina bar. And if you get the stamina bar down low enough, then you basically have these like set pieces, like these stylish kills. And I mean, look at it. It looks absolutely epic, and they're so fun to do. With the brute down, we then meet this strange creature who seems absolutely hell-bent on ending my life, but not on Tacky's watch, who sacrifices that amazing physique and body parts to, well, I guess stop me becoming bird food. We then meet Adam, who arrives to save us. This guy is the Stellar Blade equivalent of a White Knight. After a conversation with Adam, we are then tasked to find the Hall of Records, and we get our new little favorite robot friend. We also pick up our first trophy here for activating the first camp, called Camp Preparation. 1 out of 45. So whilst making our way through the ruined city, eventually in this parking lot, we're going to stumble upon a boss called Abaddon. Now, Abaddon, once defeated, will give us another trophy called Abaddon, funny enough, for defeating him. So let's get him killed and get ourselves another trophy. Trophy number 2. Continuing on, we finally reached the Hall of Records. It is here that we learn all about a Mother Sphere and how they found a solution that replaced humans' hearts and allowed humans to survive in places they shouldn't be capable of. Kind of like a normal person when they're sat waiting outside of work for it to start. You know what I mean? Oh, and we also find the power cell before Adam cries, you know? Once we leave the Hall of Records, we meet another boss. This one is called the Corruptor, and this one will be another trophy. For this one, we will earn the trophy Corruptor for defeating him. So let's make some mince meat out of him. Trophy number 3. And now it is time for our first big, and when I mean big, I mean a big boss fight. This thing is called a Gigas or Gigas. He is easily dispatched by us, of course, because we are Eve and we're absolutely incredible at fighting. And killing him will give us our first Alpha Core. But more importantly for this video, guys, it also gives us another trophy called Gigas for defeating Gigas. Making some good progress, guys, now. Killing Gigas reveals Lily, the last surviving member of her crew, has been hiding here for the last 2 years. That's a long time if you ask me.
Just call me Lily.
We then travel to Exile with Lily and Adam, and this city reminds me a lot of the Matrix city. I can't remember the specific name, but you know, like the main city that they all live in the Matrix. It just reminds me a hell of a lot like that. Now look at that view, you've kind of understand why, surely, come on. Whilst in Exile, we meet Orkle, who tells us that we need 4 Alpha Cores, which are taken by killing Alpha Nitibas in order to create a Master Core to reach the Elder Nitiba. Essentially the most important one, the one that Eve is essentially born to kill. We also get Adam's drone upgrade, which means we can now have a gun. And after some much needed shooting practice, don't laugh at me people, it's very rude.
You have terrible aim.
It's time to head to our next location. So next up on our list of getting shit done is Altess Levoire. Here we meet Kale and, I mean, yeah. You're all thinking the same thing I am. Let's be real. Let's not hide it. As an incredibly awesome spear.
Good save.
So we have to fight against Kale, and once she is defeated, she will allow us to enter Altess Levoire. So there's a couple of these dungeons in this game, guys, and the special thing about them is we can only use the gun. We have no ability to our sword, so it's a bit of a shooting one. At the very end of it is a giant boss, whom once we kill him, we'll be able to grab the hypercell and the next core. Also, defeating him will earn us another trophy. This trophy is called Altess Levoire, and it's for retrieving the hypercell from Altess Levoire. We also find this little recording, and on this we learn some valuable information about the story. So essentially, we learn about a war of humans versus a man-made android. And as mankind was about to lose, the Nightibas seemingly appeared from nowhere, which kind of shows that there's something else going on that we don't quite understand. And if you ask me, it's all getting quite deep. So let's grab the hypercell and scram. After that, we do a couple of side quests, as we'll need to finish all these for the platinum trophy. This one in particular is helping reunite the human and his AI girlfriend. Next up on the list of getting done is defeating this boss right here. He is called the Brute, and defeating him will earn us the trophy Brute, which is another step towards our platinum. We pick up Naytiba Hunter here for killing 100 enemies with beta skills, and we also need to take pictures with these graffitis as side content for more trophies. Now back to the main story. This time we're heading to a location called Matrix 11. You ever notice how that's like another Matrix reference? I mean, Exion looks like the city from the Matrix, and then obviously we're now in a location called Matrix 11. Is anyone else connected the dots here, or is it just me?
Yes.
First of the boss fights in Matrix 11 is this guy right here. He is called the Stalker, and yeah, he was kind of stalking me, so yeah, he literally lives up to his name. Once we have defeated him, we earn the trophy Stalker. With the Stalker dead, it is then time to move on to the next boss. This one this time is called the Juggernaut, and I mean, just looking at him, you can see why he earned that name, and fair play. He is a bit of a Juggernaut tank. Let me tell you, if I was in a World of Warcraft raid, I would feel very well protected with this guy as our main tank. But anyway, once the Juggernaut is defeated, it gives us another trophy called a Juggernaut. With the Juggernaut dead, it's time to continue making our way through Matrix 11, and this one is a big one, guys. Does anyone else recognize that there? It is none other than Tacky herself. Turns out that she is alive in brackets. Turns out that she is now a Naytiba herself, and that we're going to have a battle with Tacky. What a shame. Once Tacky is dead though, we do earn the trophy Tacky for defeating her. We also get ourselves another Alpha Core, return that to Oracle, and find out where the next location on this train is heading. We also earn ourselves another recording, and in this one we learned that Mothersphere was actually an AI that was regarded as a god by humans. We then return back to some more side content to pick up some extra trophies. We pick up the trophy Agile Gladiator here for perfect parrying 300 enemy attacks. We then pick up the trophy Beep for finishing a side character story. We then meet this boss called the Behemoth, where we're going to get 2 trophies from. Next up is a Battlefield Martial Artist for dodging 200 enemy attacks perfectly. And then lastly, just the Behemoth trophy for defeating him. We pick up another trophy called Sisterly Love for side content, and another one called Beyond Fate for more side content. Another trophy called Records Collector for 200 databank entries. We then move back to some story content, this time Abyss Levoire. We fight another guard at the entrance called Shael. Imojuman is a Kael's sister, as they are identical in more ways than one. Once defeated, we can head into the facility, pick up another trophy called Cold-Blooded Sniper for 150 enemy kills with ranged attacks. Another one of these bosses here, the big, like, tumorous, disgusting thing, which we're going to need to gun down. Once he is in fact gunned down, we then pick up another trophy called Abyss Levoire for completing this area. We also learn some extra information from another recording. This time we learn that humans were forced underground by the andro Eidos, and they forced the evolution, which led to Naytibas being born. So yeah, it turns out Mothersphere is a bit of a manipulator. Here's a diagram if you're struggling to make sense of this. Humans create Mothersphere, Mothersphere creates Andros Eidos, Andros Eidos kills humans, and Mothersphere inherits the Earth. Dr. Malcolm's theory, true once again.
Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
We then return back to Orkle to find out our next location. Then back to more side content, at this time doing a little bit of fishing. We catch the trophy Lonely Fisherman for catching 20 different fishies. Next up is a really important part. We need to get enough reputation through side content for Lily, who then asks us to go to Eidos 9. Whilst on Eidos 9, we'll pick up the trophy Silent Executioner for defeating 50 enemies by execution. And then the whole reason that Lily wanted us to come to Eidos 9 was essentially she has got a memory stick here from a dead comrade of hers, who you can see here. With the memory stick retrieved, it's time to continue on with the main story. Adam gets a message from Xion basically telling him there's an issue, and Adam decides that he needs to return, which means it's just Eve and Lily going into the spire. We also pick up the trophy Cruel Liberator. Continuing on with the story now, we meet this strange Nighteba in this awesome tunnel sequence. It's pretty cool Nighteba. Kind of reminds me of like a Devil May Cry kind of Nighteba. Eventually the tunnel sequence does come to a close and we end up having a fight with this Nighteba before eventually it takes too much damage and decides to flee. Let's pick up another trophy here called a Box Hunter. Another one called Nanosuit Collector for acquiring 30 nanosuit. Not far to go now. We have another view of the orbit elevator, which means we are not far off now until the Alpha Nighteba that we fought earlier whilst going through the tunnel reappears. The one that I referenced saying kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry, and come on guys, like I think it just must be the giant swords, you know, that's probably what reminds me of it. Once we defeat him, we have to use our gun and do a QTE to beat him, taking him out, and this will earn us another trophy, of course. Finally, after defeating that boss and moving on, we reach the orbit elevator, where we get greeted by this Arisa, who seems to be like the caretaker maid person. Another quick trophy here for upgrading the tumbler. We get perfect rechargeable tumbler, another trophy towards the platinum, guys. We're nearly there. Keep with it. The orbit elevator eventually comes to a brutal stop and we get another boss fight. The game is throwing bosses at us thick and fast now, and at least to me that kind of shows you that you know, the end of the game is coming. The end of the game is coming.
Exactly. The end is nigh.
Once again, as always in this game, we get a awesome sequence for finally defeating the boss. It's just like, has anyone ever played, like, I think are they related at all? Let me know in the comments down below, but it gets so many, like, I know this game has a lot of correlation with Nier, but I also get a lot of Bayonetta, if anyone knows that game. But we get the trophy Kalakuri for killing her anyway, and then we end up defeating this giant thing. We believed it was the Elder Nighteba, but it is not, I believe. When the giant boss is defeated, Eve goes crashing down to Earth from space, and it does not look good until luckily Lily asks for some help, and Mother Sphere sends out this robotic droid which engulfs Eve and brings her safely back to Earth. Doing so gives us the trophy Demo Gorgon for defeating that giant boss in space. Now that we're back, the first thing is meeting back up with Lily, who luckily actually saved our lives, so we need to thank her. And then it's trying to find out what's going on with Xion and Adam, because we've still had no contact from them. Upon arrival at Xion, things do not look good. There's an all-out battle going on here. We get a couple of trophies here for Perfect Blood Edge, so a couple of enhancements. And then it's continuing on with the boss gauntlet. This time, the Alpha Nighteba that you probably remember from the start of the game, the bird-looking thing. It's time to finally bring this one down, get some revenge for Tacky. If you don't remember, this is the one that killed Tacky at the very start of the game.
And I will have my vengeance.
And then Tacky ended up becoming a Nighteba herself, so interesting. Anyway, we finally managed to defeat this one. Another cool sequence here, a lot of QTEs. The game is very QTE heavy when it comes to finally finishing off the bosses, but if I remember correctly, I also believe Nier was, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, another cool sequence here to finally defeat the Black Alpha Nighteba bird. And then we're going to get a big revelation, guys. It actually turns out that this Alpha Nighteba here was in fact Raven. Now, Raven, for some information here, the logs that we were listening to during the game that was explaining us, giving us some of that lore, well, it actually turns out that Raven was the one leaving those logs. So yeah, interesting. With Raven finally down, it's time to head over to Orkle and see what's going on. As we learn at this point in the game, he is actually not a human. He is the first combination of an Eidos and a Nighteba, which actually makes him the first of the Alpha Nightebas. So yeah, Turns out Orkle had a big secret. With Orkle on his deathbed, he gives us his Alpha Core, which then means we can get the Master Core because we missed out on the one in space because, yeah, we were in space. There's not a lot we could have done. Another trophy here for defeating 50 enemies in Tacky mode, another one for defeating 50 enemies with burst skills, and one final one, Can Collector, for collecting all the cans. So with the Master Core now retrieved, it's time to try and find Adam again before we proceed with the final little part of the game, very close to the end now. We find Raven's final log message, which reveals that Mother Sphere destroyed the mankind and also meant that was the birth of the Natibas. Raven eventually shows up again, this time hell-bent on getting her revenge, but we're not going to be having that, are we? And a ultimate battle endures between the two Eves, I guess. Although her name's Raven, she is part of the Eve protocol, so yeah. Basically two sisters having a big brutal sword fight, so let's finish this Raven once and for all. And another cool sequence again for the end of this battle, we actually take off Raven's arm, leaving her dismembered so that she can kind of see all her plan and things that she's involved in fail. There's nothing more brutal than that, just letting her sit there, not being able to go anywhere, just watching the end of everything that she had been involved in planning. And of course, it is going to give us another trophy called Raven for obviously defeating Raven. We then, with the Master Core, open up the door to find out and finally reveal the Elder Nighteba. Any guesses on who it may be? I think most of you probably sussed out by now that it is in fact, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait because there's a couple more trophies before we finish this. The first one is Meticulous Explorer for activating all the camps, and then it is on to the end of the game with the big reveal, guys. Yes, it was indeed Adam. Adam is the Elder Nighteba, and he's actually the one that created it all as well. So yeah, he's got his morals for doing it, I guess, essentially. So he created Mother Sphere and the Nightebas, so he's kind of like the All-Father Odin. He tries to convince Eve, so ourselves, to join up with them to ensure the survival of humanity. And at this point in time, for one of these endings, we need to take Adam's hand. This allows us to become the perfect species. It actually makes us look like an angel. So yeah, we look pretty badass here, if I do say so myself. However, Mother Sphere isn't just going to sit by and watch this all happen, is she? So she actually hijacks Lily's exosuit, and this begins the final boss battle of the game against the exosuit, along with our new perfect species abilities. Of course, once the robot is defeated, we pick up one of 3 endings that we need. This one, we pick up the trophy Making New Memories, and for this you had to have gone to Eidos 9 with Lily. Oh, we also get this ending sequence where we get a reveal of a Mother Sphere. So the next one we're going to have is not taking Adam's hand, and that means we're going to be fighting against Adam as the Elder Nighteba. Once defeated, we earn the trophy Return to the Colony for the colony ending, and we also pick up another trophy called Nighteba Researcher because we now have information on all the Nightebas. One more ending to go, and then it is the last little wrap up for the Platinum guys. Okay, the last couple of trophies. The first one is Perfect Beta Energy Enhancement. The second one is Perfect Physical Enhancement. Both of these can only be picked up in New Game Plus, by the way, because it unlocks some new items which you need to be able to get these trophies. The next one is Perfect Exospine for enhancing 10 exospines to their max. So a couple more trophies to go. You can sense that Platinum coming in now. Thorough Technician for learning all the skills in the game. For this one, we had to do a bit of mix and match. Then we unlock Infinity Blade. This one is for learning new skills in New Game Plus. It is then time to achieve the final ending, guys, the one that did require us to do a quick new playthrough. So we've done a complete playthrough. I've not shown any clips or anything because I explained all the story, but for this one it's a complete New Game Plus playthrough, and we're back to this point. In this instance, we are going to take Adam's hand, and then we're going to have a battle with the robot once again. However, there's going to be a bit of a sad twist this time, because the difference with this one to the previous battle with the robots is that, of course, we haven't gone to Eidos 9, so Lily doesn't actually have her memory stick. Now, I've not explained it previously, so I'll explain it here. The memory stick is the thing that allowed her to get out of the robot. So in this instance, you know, kind of know what's kind of coming here, I guess. So yeah, Lily actually dies in this ending. It gives us the cost of lost memories, which then gives us the Eve Protocol trophy for the platinum of Stellar Blade. Everybody, thanks for watching. We also pick up another trophy here called Repeating Protocol. So I technically 100% this game, but you know what? Still, the most important thing of it was the platinum. I hope you enjoyed it all. Probably going to change things up slightly when it comes to longer games, just because it is a bit of a lot of effort with the amount of clips. I've got over 50 hours worth of gameplay that I had to go through for the footage of this. So yeah, thoughts and opinions are most welcome. If you enjoyed the video, like it. If you want to see more content, make sure you subscribe, because plenty more platinums coming, everybody.